now stop. Let me talk for a little. Not Malcolm, but I'm stuck in the middle of a couple pretty women and a couple chili liquor, and they digging every minute, so they wonder why they get it. Oh Lord, have mercy. Get it hard like the home run derby. Quit playing, girlfriend, I know you heard of me. Going in on every track like a surgery.
Hey, what is going on, everyone? That was a few pictures of some surfing spots. The first three were from spots in Hawaii, and the last two were one surfing spot in Tahiti called Tiapuhu or some shit like that, some crazy name. But in this commentary, I'm going to tell you guys about a surfing incident that happened to me, a near-death experience that happened to me while I was stationed in Hawaii with the Army. So, I was in Hawaii for 3 years with the Army, and basically what I would do is every day after work is I would go surfing. I would actually wear my swim shorts, my beach shorts under my uniform and get off work and go straight to the beach. I had my board in the back of the car, and I would just get off work at 4:30, get to the beach by like 4:45, and then go surf until about 6:30 or 7 at night. And it was a pretty good time. I actually got an ear infection in both ears three separate occasions during one winter. That's how much I surfed. I cleaned my ears out too, but I just had so much sand in my ears all the time that I actually got an ear infection in both ears a couple different times. But like I said, it was during the winter, and you might think that's kind of weird, but in Hawaii, there's only big waves on the North Shore during the winter. It's because basically what happens is up near Alaska, in that spot you watch that TV show Deadliest Catch, the Bering Sea. Basically what happens is there's some big hurricane-like storms up there. They generate some big swells, and then those swells make it their way to Hawaii's North Shore. So, only really big wave surfing during the winter. Actually, I just saw on the news a few days ago that the first set of big waves actually just started to hit the North Shores of Hawaii. So it's that's what kind of gave me this commentary topic. I wanted to tell you guys the story. But like I said, I went surfing a whole bunch while I was there during the winter. And this one time, I think it was pretty sure it was a weekend. And I was actually boogie boarding, not actually surfing on this day. And what I did is I woke up like 8 o'clock and I checked the surf report on the internet. I think it's surfline.net. And basically what that shows you is like the height of the waves, the high tide, low tide, the weather, the water temperature, all kinds of good information and stuff like that. So I checked it, and it said 6 to 8 feet, which is perfect. That's what I like. That's the perfect size of the wave. And in Hawaii, they measure the waves from the back of the wave and not the front, which is kind of weird, but I guess it makes sense to them or whatever. I forget exactly why they do it. But the back of the wave is always smaller than the front of the wave. So if the back of the wave is 6 feet, that's basically a 12-foot face. It's about double. So a 12 to 18 foot face on the waves that I was surfing, which is pretty big when you think about it. If you're 6 foot tall, multiply yourself by 3, and that's the size of the waves I was surfing, 6 to 8 feet. Now, that surf report said 6 to 8 feet and capping out around 20 plus by midnight. So I was like, oh gosh, that's crazy. But hey, whatever. I'll surf 6 to 8 feet, and then when it gets too big for what I can handle, what I'm comfortable with, I'll just catch a wave in and get out the water. Well, like I said, woke up at 8, checked the Surfline report. I was at the beach by 9 surfing, and I surfed I swear about 5-6 hours straight without any breaks. And I was in really, really, really good shape back then, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I was sitting there in the water and waiting for the next set of waves to come in. And waves they come in sets. They don't all just continuously come in. It's like 5 big waves, and then a break for a couple minutes, 5 more, 6 more big waves, and then another little break, and that's how it goes. So basically your goal is just to catch one nice wave for every set. And if you're lucky and you can make it back out in time, and the set is about 7 waves, 8 waves, then you might be able to catch like the first one and the last one. But it's whatever. It's 1 wave every set or whatever. So we're sitting there. I'm in the water with a couple friends and a bunch of locals, guys that grew up in the ocean, basically grew up in Hawaii and did this every single day. And we're sitting there, it's in between sets, and we're all just kind of chilling, hanging out, you know, trying to catch our breath and stuff. And we look out in the ocean, way out in the ocean, and we see this gigantic tidal wave type looking tsunami wave coming in at us. And everybody kind of just like looked at each other and then looked back out, and we just sat there. We're like, is this like what is this? Like what is about to happen, you know? And then we're like, oh shit. Yeah, this one's going to break. And it was huge. I'm talking about this wave was gigantic. And basically, if you try to paddle in and get out the water before the wave hits you, it's impossible, because what's going to happen is the wave's just going to crash on top of you. Second option is to catch it. And I don't think anybody in the water at that time was mentally prepared to even attempt to try to catch one of these waves. I mean, it was huge. This was a 25 foot wave. And remember, I tell you, they measure them from the back. So this wave had a 50 foot face on it. So anyway, I took option number 3, which is paddle my ass off straight out into the ocean and try to make my way over these waves. So I paddle, and I'm paddling, and I'm like, oh my god, this sucks. And I'm on a boogie board, I'm on a surfboard. Surfboards paddle faster. So everybody's on boogie boards, and we barely make it, like I barely made it over the front of the first wave. And then I came down the backside of it, you know, it's like a 20-30 foot drop, and then I'm in the ocean, and then there's another one right behind it. There's always like 5 or 6 waves, remember I said that. And the second one is always bigger than the third one's always bigger than the fourth one, you know what I mean? I mean, they increase in size as the sets, you know, as the set progresses. So, I'm in the water, and I make it over the first wave barely, and then I make it over the second wave, third wave, and the fourth wave comes, I'm out of breath, behind, I'm kind of little like lagging behind, and there's no way I was making it over this fourth wave. So I took option number 4. I threw away my board, I took the leash off, and I dove straight down into the ocean. And I literally just took a big breath and dove straight down into the ocean and got myself as close to the bottom of the ocean as possible. And I did that, and I just watched this wave come over, and I knew if I went up right then, there was going to be another 1 or 2 waves, so I stayed under the water. And you got to remember, I was paddling for like, you know, a good 45 seconds, almost a minute, trying to get out into the ocean. So I was out of breath when I took a breath of air. So I went down to the bottom. I'm watching these waves go over the top of my head through the water, and it finally calms down. I don't have my board anymore. I go to the surface. I, you know, take a big breath of air. I'm out of breath. And then I start getting swept out to ocean, because what happened was these big waves crashed onto the shore, and all that water came back into the ocean and was creating a crazy riptide. And I got swept out into the ocean. I was actually out there with like 3 or 4 other guys that did the same thing I did. We were all in the same boat, or not really in the boat if you want to call it that. And the lifeguards actually had to get on the jet skis and come out there and save us. You know, there's only one jet ski though. They came and got 2 of us before the next set came in, and I stayed out there during the next set. I basically was way out in the ocean, so the set really didn't, you know, the waves didn't really affect me that much. But basically that's what happened is, you know, after that, I lost my board. I don't even know, somebody might have stolen it, or it got swept out to sea as well. Lost my board. Almost lost my life, and it was just one of those crazy experiences from Hawaii. And I was kind of hesitant to go in the water a little bit after that, but I love surfing so much, you know, and I actually did surf quite a bit after that, but that day kind of shook me up, if you don't blame me. But anyway, this was 120 kills with the M16 on interchange using Assault, Pred, Overwatch, and Pavlo. Hope you guys enjoyed this little story. Drop a like, and I'm out. Peace.